Hey guys, another video on simple interest. Hopefully you've watched the other videos before this because I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here. Remember, we are dealing with this formula, I equals PRT. I is interest, P is principal, R is rate, and T is time in years. And today, for this video, what we're going to look at is instead of solving for the interest, we spend most of our time trying to calculate what the interest is. We're going to solve for one of the other variables that are missing. So let's take a look at what that looks like. This is going to take a little bit more algebra to figure these out. Let's try an example. So imagine you had an interest rate and it was at 4%, and you were paying back a loan and you were given 10 years to do it. And when you were done, you had paid the bank $11,400 of interest. That's your interest. What was your principal amount? That means how much money did you actually borrow? Maybe you bought a new car or a house. We'll have to calculate it to figure that out. You paid it off in 10 years at a 4% rate, but this is all your extra interest. So look at what we're given here. We're given different facts. We're given 4%. Well, that's our rate. That's our R. We're given 10 years. That's our time. And we're given our interest. That's our I. What we don't know is what's our principal. That's the missing piece of our formula. So you know how it's I equals PRT? Well, let's fill in what we have here. We have I. We know the interest. We know that you paid an extra $11,400. A lot of money. We also know the rate, but we don't know what P is. P is the missing variable that we don't know. The rate is 4%. So we're going to times it by 4%. And the time we've got right up here is 10 years. So times 10. So check out what we kind of end up doing. We end up having a formula with one variable to solve for, P. So I can put my line down the middle and I can solve it this way. I'm going to fix some of this, like the 4%. I'm going to rewrite it by moving the decimal. And at the same time, I think I'm going to multiply 10 times that, which I don't really need a calculator for, but if it helps, we can use a calculator. 4% is 0.04 times 10, and that should just move our decimal to 0.4. So I'm going to write 0.4. So now that I have that piece figured out, I'm going to move the calculator here. What I really have is I have P times 0.4 equals the $11,400. So if I want to get P by itself, I want to know what's the principal equal. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So undo this. If it's multiplication, let's divide it away. Divide by 0.4, divide by 0.4. That'll get rid of this piece that we don't want, and we'll have P all by itself. What is $11,400? Let's see, $11,400 divided by 0.4. Check that out. $28,500. So $28,500 was our principal. That means you must have went to the bank and asked for a loan and said, can I borrow $28,500? Maybe you're buying a new car or something like that. And they said, sure. So you got the money out and you had to pay it back, and you had to pay this much back along with your $11,400. So how much total did the bank get from you? Well, in total, the bank got the $28,500 back that you had to pay back, plus you had to give them $11,400 of interest. So if you add that up, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 5 plus 4 is 9, 8 plus 1 is 9, 2 plus 1 is 3. You paid the bank a grand total of $39,900. And there's your missing principal that we didn't have earlier. Okay, so these are kind of backwards problems. I'm going to show you another one, example 2. Here are the facts. You paid a bunch of interest to the bank, $6,900. Your principal loan, you borrowed $23,000, and you had a 6% rate. The question is how much time did it take you to pay it back off? What's your time? So here's your I, here's your P, here's your R. The question is what's the T? That's the missing variable this time. So think of our formula, I equals PRT, and let's replace it with the things we know. We know that the interest that you paid was $6,900. Okay. We know that the principal you paid, you borrowed a $23,000 loan. So $23,000 of principal. We know your rate, I'll put here, is 6%. Now 6%, if you move the decimal, is 0.06. And then the time, that's the piece that we don't know. We're solving for time. That's the one thing we don't know. So I'm going to put my equal sign here. I'm going to put a line down the middle, and I'm going to solve this with the little bit of algebra that we need. So let's start with just doing some multiplication. Like, let's figure out what $23,000 times 0.06 is. Let's multiply that. So let's see, I'll turn this on. $23,000 times 0.06 is 1,380. Okay? So multiplying that together, I have 1,380 T equals $6,900. Now remember, the whole idea here is we want to know what does T equal. I'm trying to get T by itself. So here's the T. Let's divide the 1,380 away. And we'll have to divide it to the other side. Divide by 1,380. That way we can get rid of that. Get T isolated all by itself. So now the question is what's 6,900 divided by 1,380? And that is a nice even 5, if you can see that on your screen. That means the time is equal to 5. And 5 what? Remember, everything's in years with this formula, so 5 years. We have our answer, 5 years. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, that means, if we go back up and look at our facts, you bought a car. You borrowed $23,000. You got a 6% interest rate, and you paid it off in 5 years. You gave the bank an extra $6,900 of interest. That's the extra money the bank got because you borrowed a loan from them, so you had to pay them extra back. That's what that means. So it's the same as in the previous videos. It's the same formula, but we're just practicing solving for one of the missing variables. And that takes a little bit more work. You have to put your line down the middle and isolate whatever variable it is. You got to get it by itself and solve for it. Okay, I hope that makes sense, and we will work on it in class some more. Thanks, guys. Bye.